Good day, money makers. Welcome back to the channel. For those that's affected by the coronavirus, have loved ones that's sick, we pray and hope that everybody gets back well. Okay, the topic for today is the new stimulus package, $2 trillion, $2 trillion package, and what's really in the package versus what a lot of people is hearing and saying. So first of all, they did pass the package, um, and so what that really is it's $1,200 per adult. If you make under $75,000, if you make over that, it's $5 every $100. I believe it's $5 every $100 that it gets taken down, all the way until it's maxed out. Um, if you're married, you got $150,000 before it starts maxing out. And then if you have dependents or a child, not just dependents, just a child. If you have a child, you do receive $500 per child. Doesn't matter the age. It's just 500 per child. So I'm gonna go through some of the good things about it, and then some of the wishy-washy things about it. I'm not gonna try to make this political, because that's not what we do on this channel. If you want politics, there's other YouTubers and anybody else that deals with politics. I just deal with the money part and the tax part and the facts. And since I've been doing taxes at H&R Block for 8 years as a senior tax analyst. Okay. So the good side is it does help relieve some of the anxiety, some of the pressure, um, that might be associated with some people losing their jobs. Hopefully, we can get back to work once some of these restrictions are off. But this is just more of a safeguard or a safety net for people to pay some bills, or not get too far behind in bills. Um, so that's the good side. They do go off your 2019 taxes if you did file them. If you didn't file them, they go off of 2018, and they go off of your adjusted gross, your taxable income, So, um, if you have a lower taxes, you should receive all this, all $1,200 of it. So if you have you're married and you have one child, it's $2,900. Um, unless they change that at some point in time. Um, what else we got? Is there's no limit to kids. They're talking about seeing this in the beginning of May from all reports as of 3/26, 2020. They're talking about beginning of May, maybe the end of April, beginning of May. So basically about, I don't know, 4 weeks from now, 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks from now. Okay. So is it? Somebody asked me, is it a stimulus? Is it really a stimulus? And no, it's really not a stimulus. And here's the bad part that they tell you about. They're not telling you about is it's really not a stimulus. If you remember some of the stimulus packages we had before, it was they gave you the money and then you were just taxed on it. This is so more an advancement on on your future taxes, on your future tax return, which is next year. Um, so it's an advancement. It's really not a stimulus. So as you can see right here, technically checks are an advancement of refundable credits. So what are refundable credits? Refundable credits are the money that you receive from the government. Refundable credits, such the major ones are, the three major ones that I deal with is earned income, EIC, which is known as EIC. If you get uh, if you don't make that much money and you have kids and all that stuff, you get some EIC, which is the earned income credit. The child tax credit, which is always misconstrued as somebody's getting $2,000 back. Only $1,400 of that is refundable, and the $600 goes to pay some of your taxes. So 1,400 of that, so it's $1,400. It's not the full $2,000. So $1,400 of that is refundable. And the third one is usually for students that's that has not completed the first 4 years of college, um, or they they've got a fifth year or whatever. First 4 years of college, there's an American Opportunity Credit. And if you qualify, you can get up to $1,000 back off of that. Most people think it's 2,500, and it's not. $1,500 of that is non-refundable, and then the rest is refundable, depending on how much you got left over. Okay, so and it's an advancement. So the thing is, say last tax season, you got a refund of $5,000. Okay, for you you and your spouse and then a kid or something. So they'll take that 2,900 or 3,000, from what I'm hearing is 29, between 29 and 3,000. They'll take that from there, and then you'll get a remainder of $2,000. So instead of that $5,000 that you usually get at the end of the year, it'll be $2,000. Goes on. Depends on how many kids. If you have 3 kids, that's $1,500 plus the 20. The So it's like 4 grand. If and But you get a $6,000 return or $8,000 federal return. And this is dealing with federal guys, not the state. We're dealing with just federal taxes here. So you take that 6,000 from the 8,000 you'll get the remainder of that. Now on the flip side is if you didn't have that amount of money. So say you only got a refund of $1,200 or $2,000. The remainder of that is now owed because it's an advancement. Anytime somebody advances you something, like any kind of record or any type of advancement, that's saying, hey, here's your money, but we need all this back. So that's basically what it is, and it's an advancement. It's not a stimulus. Everybody's thinking it's a stimulus. A stimulus works different. A stimulus is if somebody gives you something, and then now you're taxed on it. So some of the stimulus packages we had before was some of the cash for clunkers, and then I think it was a $350 um thing that Bush did. They had to switch back from Windows to actual Google. Um, I forgot I was in Windows there. But yeah, like I was saying before, when Bush gave out those stimulus before, it was a thing, and then it became taxable income. So that's what makes it a difference. It's not an advancement; it becomes taxable income if somebody gives you something and then they tax it on it. This one is more an advance. So take it how you will. I would refer to your tax professional or whoever does your taxes. And this coming year in 2020, I suggest you get one. TurboTax and all that good stuff can be misleading, and if you're not doing it right, you don't report it right, then you get a letter, and then you'll end up owing even more because you got penalties and interest. So next year, I advise you to go to some tax professional that actually is gonna know what they're doing, versus you trying to figure this thing out yourself. It may cost you a couple bucks, but it'll save you in the end there. Um, and some things you can do that's proactive is if I mean not if when you start working again, take a little bit more out of your paychecks. Switch your W-4 up. I did do a video on how to do the W-4. Switch your W-4 up. Take a little bit more out. That way, if you did end up owing, or you did have a lower tax return last year, you can kind of offset what's coming. Since you know what's coming, you can kind of prepare yourself for what's left.